A new patch is on the way, bringing with it a new Zenith of Power, holiday events, improvements to Champions of Olympia and Tempest Clash, KvK reward and event changes, and a whole bunch of other things as well that we need to talk about. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and this video has been sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms, and today we're reviewing the Spring Awakening patch, which I've got a few predictions about what this is going to bring. It will be available on 3/8, and then over the coming weeks, we should start to get some of these events. Speaking of which, let's start with the Spring Awakening event, and by the way, check the timestamps to jump to whichever portion of this video you are most interested in, and consider subscribing for daily Rise of Kingdoms videos, designed to help you get value and smash your enemies. The Spring Awakening is going to have a series of events, some of which I don't recognize. This Esmeralda's Prayer. We will never know when the Wheel of Life will stop turning. Maybe your luck can change. Hey, let me tell you what my luck is like with Esmeralda. Your luck never changes. It's never good. And in fairness, I have gotten lucky a couple times. But Esmeralda, man, she just crushes me. And if you haven't seen some of the original Esmeralda events, I mean, maybe they're going to bring back Esmeralda's original form, where you would either get gems or get wrecked. I'll have a card up in the top for the earliest versions of Esmeralda. You can check that out at the end of this video. It was very different. Hopefully that's not what they're bringing back. Hopefully it's some new thing that we all enjoy and becomes a part of the holiday event routine and has some good free-to-play options for how you can play it as well. The Race Against Time is coming, but more importantly, the Zenith of Power. This is probably what you're interested in, my thoughts on. What city theme are we going to get? Well, let me tell you, I think that it is highly likely, and the thing that I would expect we would get is an Archer Health city theme. I think we are overdue for that, and if we look at when the last Archer Health city theme landed, it was the Amber Fortress. It looks like this was in 2020 spring events. I mean, this is 2 years ago. It is time for them to re-release the health theme. And if you were wondering, well, is it such a big deal if this gets re-released? The answer is obviously yes. These health themes come out like once every 2 years or so. So yeah, health is far and away the best stat that you want to put onto a rally or garrison. If you open field, these themes have some major downside unless you're using all one troop type, and most people aren't. And I will even say most people shouldn't these days, with how OP certain commanders are, like Nevsky. So even if you weren't running Cavs, you kind of want to just run Nevsky William, period. Like everybody should, my opinion. But this city theme reduces your defensive infantry and cavalry by 5%. I don't know what they would re-release this with. When they re-released the infantry city theme, they very simply swapped what they were debuffing here. So here you can see it reduces the cav attack and also the archer defense. This is the first time they released the city theme for infantry health. This was during the 2019 anniversary events. That's fall time frame of 2019. And if we just get a quick look at the last time that they re-released a city theme here, in 2021, they did it during the anniversary time. I think that it's all but guaranteed we're getting an archer theme, and you can see that in this case, what they did is they swapped the defense debuff and the attack debuff. So now it's the Cavs getting the defense debuff and the archers getting the attack debuff. But the weirdness here is that the archer theme gives minus defense to both troop types. In a best case scenario, the new version of this city theme gives minus attack to both troop types. In a worst case scenario, it gives minus health to both troop types. And you may think, wow, would they really do that? There is actually precedent for that. If we get a look over here, Melk Abbey is the cavalry health theme, which was available in 2020, the Dragon Boat event. Wow. And that is reducing infantry health and archer health. Yikes. I mean, this is just a rally city theme or a cav main city theme for the open field. But primarily, I think rally and garrison is where you would be here. So we'll find out ultimately what stats this gets, but if you haven't been saving speed ups, trust me, you're going to need a ridiculous amount of speed ups to win that Archer Health City theme. I think if I could even put 40 or 50 million points on the board, I don't know if that's even going to be enough. It's just that crazy and that good. Just throwing it out there. So if we go back actually to this mail, and we'll continue forward on the other updates here, Tempest Clash will be returning, thank goodness, in a couple weeks. I know you all have been missing Boat Game. I know I have been missing my free sculptures, so let's freaking go. Now, there are some KvK improvements in here as well. Season of Conquest, after receiving feedback, we're making the following changes and improving the system for recycling crystals. So this looks like it's going to be effective immediately. Remaining crystals will not be converted to gold at the end of the season and will instead be converted to season coins at a fixed proportion. This is great news. I think that gold is good. We need a lot of gold, but that season coin is a precious resource that you can't just farm on the map. So we'll see what that ratio looks like and how favorable it is. I hope it's pretty favorable, and maybe there will be a reason to keep converting your resources in the crystal mine to get more crystals to try to get more season coins. Maybe. I don't know. It all depends on the ratio. There is a maximum limit to the number of season coins that can be obtained through this system. Anything over the limit will be converted into gold instead. Well, I guess we'll get some gold after all. And they fixed an issue where the quality of crystal resource items, or the quality of crystal resource items, that's interesting, would not display properly. Huh. So I guess you would have crystal tokens and it was displaying the wrong amount sometimes. And then after the update, the following changes will be made for servers beginning later for Lost Kingdom. So any servers that are starting Lost Kingdom after the update has come in, they will get the following. The difficulty levels for new Season of Conquest event, Trial of KvK, will be unlocked as progress is made in the Lost Kingdom. Governors can gain crystals, season coins, and other rewards. So this is one way, hopefully, free-to-play players can get a lot of crystals in Season of Conquest for free. Discounted legendary commander sculptures and equipment material choice chests will be made available in the season shop. I'm a little sad that I don't get the benefit of this. Up next, governors can spend crystals to receive speed-up items in a new Season of Conquest event, Give and Receive. So this I find really interesting. I definitely look forward to seeing what that exchange ratio is like, and it could be, depending on how much you can do for this, Give and Receive, that maybe for spenders, you buy the Mountain Warfare, even if you don't need the crystals, and then convert them in Give and Receive. Very curious to see how that will go, but this is for future Seasons of Conquest, not the one that I'm actively playing in right now. And then complete new challenges in the Season of Conquest event, Crystal Quest, to unlock the event level and gain crystals. You can also unlock extra rewards by purchasing a quest treasure bundle. This to me sounds a lot like a Lucerne Scrolls type of event, or similar to the museum event that sort of showed up. There were a bunch of quests. You did the quest, you get progress. That's my suspicion. And then rewards have been changed for the Season of Conquest, Eve of the Crusade. Governors can gain crystals now through this event. I felt like you could gain crystals before, but the amount was so small that it didn't matter. But hopefully they boost that a meaningful amount here. Buffs for crystal technologies have been fine-tuned. Please take note of the new effects. Fine-tuned could mean all kinds of things. Fine-tuned is trying to set our expectation here. Fine-tuned to me means minor changes. Some things buffed, some things nerfed. Minor changes. Fine-tuned is, I mean, probably precise with what they're trying to say here. They're trying to probably set our expectation that they're not massive changes to how crystal technology works. I would not expect crystal technology to be relocated, as I might have hoped, pulling forward some of the healing tech. I think that this is probably just small changes to the amounts, but we'll see. I will definitely be looking for that as soon as it lands. And also interesting that it's not going to impact my KvK, but only new KvK. So we're going to have to wait a couple weeks to see exactly what that looks like. Event improvements. We've received a lot of positive feedback about the new Tempest Clash and Champions of Olympia. I actually started doing Champions of Olympia again a little bit, just with randoms, and it is definitely a lot better than it was before. Still having a few times where I feel like I targeted something, but it's not getting targeted, but it's a lot better than it was in the past. Galleys can now attack targets chosen manually. Okay, so for those of you who played a lot of Tempest Clash, you know that with the Archer boat, if you sit still for 2 seconds, you start shooting out arrows at the nearest target, but they're making it so you can pick your target, which is amazing. Improve the collisions and movement in battle. This is crucial. Very much looking forward to that. Reduce the amount of damage that armored ships deal to the supply ships. Remember how we used to joke that you could just run 5 infantry boats and win? Or you could run 3 infantry boats, 1 archer, 1 cav, and that was probably the meta. I think that the developers have realized that that was meta, and they are nerfing that slightly. So reduce the amount of damage that armored ships deal to supply ships. We'll see exactly how much that is. When galleys deal damage to armored ships, it will reduce the damage that they deal to supply ships. Wow. So they really are nerfing the extent to which an infantry boat can just roll up and take out the supply barges. That's a big deal. So this is just a huge nerf to the all-in infantry strategy. It does seem that the developers are giving more than just a head nod to the fact that that is really powerful. Slightly increase the trireme's march speed. I think this is really important. Also a head nod here to cavalry boat being weaker than it should be. And that's largely because it's so vulnerable to getting hit. And rather than addressing the vulnerability that it has, they're instead going the route of saying, actually, what we're going to do is make it so that the boat can be played more skillfully. More march speed means that you just need to pick your fights more carefully and run more aggressively, right? To try to avoid combat or really just pick your battles, okay? Improve the graphic content for CFX waves. Sea waves, baby. Let's go. And fix a number of display issues. I actually am really hyped for the return of that game mode. It's not something you can grind for like hours on end, but I miss it. It's going to be fun to play it again. The Heart's Desire event will begin when the Legendary Tavern becomes available. This is a new event. Governors will be able to select their 5 preferred commanders from a selection and receive specialized chests containing plentiful custom rewards, which can be unlocked using sovereign keys. So it is interesting that the developers are giving more use for sovereign keys, but I also am not surprised. I think that they don't want players to get into a dead-end situation, which is where I am right now, where I feel like there's not really a reason for me to try to go out of my way to get sovereign keys, because the majority of the commanders I've maxed in here, and I know you're thinking, like, Chisgule, what a whale problem, bro. But it just doesn't surprise me that the developers like want you to still want to get more sovereign keys and to potentially, for the bigger whales, to go buy a bundle that would let you then potentially pick 5 commanders you can choose. I don't know how that's going to work. If you get a series of random rewards, but sometimes you get your chosen commander, that would be my guess. One of the 5 commanders you've chosen even. Can you just pick 1 commander and only get that one? I guess we'll see how this new event is going to work. But if you haven't been saving your sovereign keys, you certainly might consider doing so in case that event ends up being better than this base level of Legendary Tavern. Although, I mean, yeah, being able to pick your commander could be very good. It could be that this is the place where whales go and spend the majority of their keys, and that, like, everybody else who wants a specific commander who's not spending or is certainly not heavy spending would maybe go and focus on that. I don't know. We'll see what those rewards look like. I'm definitely very hyped for that. And last but not least, toward the bottom of this list here, we've got other improvements. So in response to feedback, we've improved the timing for when commanders become available. Esong is now available when a kingdom enters the off-season before Season 1. So you're going to get a couple Wheel of Fortunes, it sounds like, leading up to Season 1, which would be nice. I don't know when you were getting it before, maybe in the middle of Season 1, since they accelerated the timeline. Saladin and Khan, Edward of Woodstock, and Tamaris will be available when a kingdom enters the off-season for Season 2. This was previously 140 days after the kingdom launch. So it sounds like they're spacing these things out to align better with KvK, which makes sense. And then you can now exit a rally directly from the map on the army screen. So that's actually kind of nice. Before, if you wanted to leave a rally, you had to go into your rally center in-game and then peace out of the rally. To be able to do that from just your little side menu here is going to be pretty good. And then Ragnar Shaggy Pants is added to the daily special offer. You know that thing? That thing we've all wanted. But actually, joking aside, I'm probably going to start buying the daily special offer again just to be able to max Ragnar Shaggy Pants and see, like, you know, how good is he exactly? I know that sounds really crazy. I may decide against it. But the daily special offer is like maybe second to the gem supply, like some of the very best value you can find in Rise of Kingdoms It's so good. It's so good in terms of the quantity of speed ups, gems, keys, and also AP, and also commander sculptures you get. I'm not saying it's cheap. It's still, good. It's a good chunk of cash for a mobile game, but the daily special offer is actually really high value in the grand scheme of things. They further added rewards to the Osiris League Champions bundle. This to me makes a lot of sense. I've always felt like the Champions bundle was really, really, really low value. This is the bundle, by the way, where you go in and you get marks of the champion. Is it even giving me the option? I guess not at this point, because you no longer can even place champion bets. So these marks of the champion, you don't even know if you're going to get a reward. And you might be able to pick the champion and get a really, really, really good reward, like I've kind of done over here. But even that is kind of constrained. Like, there's only so much reward you can actually even obtain. So it makes sense that they're kind of like, wait a minute, let's throw something else in with that bundle. I think that it makes a lot of sense that they would want that bundle to be designed to be desirable. And as it stands, I don't know why I would take a risk on that bundle, given that the reward is far from guaranteed. In fact, most seasons, most people will not get the reward that they set out to try to get here. So I think it's actually a very good thing that they're making that bundle just better, because I found it very unenticing. And I wonder what data they were sort of looking at there to sort of align on that. What would I want? Speed ups. I would want materials. Any of those things would be quite nice. And then the Kingdom maps and Lost Kingdom maps can now be used in bulk. Hallelujah. Praise be. They improved the prerequisites for the Peacebringer and Ruthless Siege achievements. I don't know what improved means. I don't know if they reduced the requirement for Peacebringer and Ruthless Siege. I don't even know where those are. Leave a comment down below. They fixed an issue with the all-for-one talent. Display issues with the all-for-one talent. Okay, all-for-one is in the skill tree. This is actually a little concerning. What it says is after the primary commander uses an active skill damage of the secondary commander is increased by 6%. So what does it do? What is it actually doing? Is it all skill damage? Is it somehow worse? Maybe, well, if we just go back here, that is a really important talent. So what's changing? Fixed display issues for the all-for-one talent. Maybe certain languages. Translation issue. Maybe it's just displaying the log. Could be that simple. I don't know. We'll keep our eye on it and definitely see, and I'll do some testing before and after to see kind of what's changed. When a burning alliance flag with no garrison is attacked, you will no longer be sent an alliance mail. Thank you. I don't need 500 mails letting me know that I'm being spammed attacked on a flag that's already burning. So that's actually really quite nice. And then equipping a higher quality item will also complete quests for lower quality items. Hallelujah. And then a screen adjustment option has been added to the settings. Definitely curious what screen adjustment means. Like, the other day I was looking at the interface and I was thinking, man, it would be nice to toggle some things, like to adjust aspects of this screen. That actually would be kind of cool. Like, I'm not saying I want to take this bar off of the side and move it somewhere else, but like as an example, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm definitely curious to see what they mean by screen adjustment. That could be really cool. And then after the update, a Hunt for History event will only begin when your city hall is level 8 or higher. Okay. If you have any feedback about the event, you could always fill out the survey in-game, and that's a great way to reach Lilith. And if you want to leave a comment on this video, I also check out those comments, and I'm just very curious what you all think of this update, and do you think that our prediction is correct for a Archer Health city theme? I would give it honestly like a 95% chance that that's what we're getting, given the cadence that we've seen so far of a 2-year sort of cooldown timer on when those show up. But if you enjoyed this video, throw a like on here, subscribe, and check out the card I mentioned up in the top. I'll also include another video for the last time that I was able to win a legendary city theme. The Zenith Power is absolutely harrowing, but it is pretty entertaining to watch as we stress our way through the final moments. So check it out. And until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies.